Ever since the pandemic began, visiting other countries has been difficult. Now, with the so-called travel bubble agreement, some new possibilities are opened up. Choi Won-jong helps us gauge the potential impact of the changes.
Volcanic mountains and a beautiful coastline with stretches of white sand attract visitors to South Korea's southern island of Jeju. But this place, known for its nature beauty, has been almost off limits for foreign travelers in the COVID-19 era.
For nearly a year and 9 months, Jeju was closed to group tours from other countries due to the pandemic, but today, the door has finally been reopened.
Why has Jeju reopened its border this time? Because of its travel bubble, which is an agreement between 2 or more countries to open up their borders for travel without mandatory quarantine. The process of traveling under the agreement varies from country to country. However, those who like to travel to South Korea need to go through 3 COVID tests. They must take PCR tests within 72 hours of departure, 1 upon arrival, and the final test on the 6th or 7th day if they will stay for 8 days or more. They also need some documents such as an official COVID-19 vaccine certificate and a copy of their travel medical insurance. Under the South Korea-Singapore travel bubble agreement that kicked off in November 15th, 20 people from Singapore arrived on Jeju Island.
There was a lot of Korean dramas that keep us entertained during the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
We were watching a lot of it on Netflix, on View, and the different channels. So obviously, Squid Game was all the rage as well recently, right? Yeah, and we were like, oh my god, we need to come here for Gongyu.
But what made you guys decide, hey, I want to go to Korea?
And when we looked at the situation, we thought, Korea's situation was actually quite similar to Singapore, where we were still practicing safe distancing with our mask on, and everybody was just quite prudent, right? So we thought, you know what, maybe Korea, it's a safer choice. So we decided to give Korea a try. And I mean,
Once they arrived at one of the tour spots, the excitement began. They took photos, ate desserts, drank coffee, and most importantly, enjoyed some good quality time together. However, the world is facing another COVID curveball. The Omicron variant is putting international travel once again in jeopardy. But that didn't stop some visitors due to the travel bubble agreement.
I watched the news about it yesterday. Of course I was worried, but I still want to go while being careful.
And so far, South Korea has already imposed travel restrictions on countries with high risk of Omicron variant. And starting December 3rd for 2 weeks, all overseas visitors must go through a 10-day quarantine even if they're fully vaccinated. For the worst-case scenario, the so-called circuit breaker could put the travel bubble agreement in jeopardy again. Some tourism businesses think the travel bubble should continue.
If we close our borders, it will bring more negative impacts, not only psychologically but also economically. I think we should feel more confident and open up international travel if countries under the travel bubble agreement follow prevention measures well. That's the fastest way to save the tourism industry.
Global pandemic is far from over, but the travel bubble could be the turning point for international travel in the COVID-19 era. And maybe this could give people a little bit more breathing room to travel internationally in less stressful conditions. Choi Won-jong, Arirang News.